Back again, gonna show you guys how I put together Larry June's joint, Tangible Assets, first song off the Orange Print album. This one was really inspired by like Compton's Most Wanted, early 90s West Coast stuff that was like super sample driven, but still had like some mob to it. It wasn't just the traditional like way they were doing on the East Coast, and something about that really connected with me as a kid. And I feel like I'm always chasing those sounds that I grew up on. So this one started with some drums from my boy B Butcher. Buy all his kits; they're amazing. I've used his drums on a bunch of joints. So started with this drum loop. And from there, chopped up a bass line and took like, let me see how many different notes there are. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Eight different bass notes and made my own bass line out of it. From there, pulled up some like very like Isaac Hayes kind of guitars, like the octave guitar style that they used on like Do Your Thing and some of the other classics. And I'm really just kind of putting all these different elements into this beat and trying to make it all sound like one, a bunch of different chops. So we got the guitar, the bass, the drums, and if it's one of my beats, I'm gonna have to throw some background vocals in there. Took those, three notes and pitched them up to make it work, make it interesting. From there, I also threw these claps in there. Let me see where they are. So it's like three different claps, and I kind of just did like a little pattern underneath those drums. And it just gives it more of a little bounce, makes it more interesting. And then the next little element I added was just this random clav chord with a phaser on it that I had made from another beat. That's one cool thing about the ASR is I'll just recall sounds that I've used in other beats and pitch them, if they're in the same, make them be in the same key so it all works. And that's kind of like what I did on the ASR for the most part with this beat. I also did this intro guitar thing because I just felt like I wanted to start it. I notice with a lot of beats when I start just with some like random chords, it's like more of a setup. So you can kind of like, ease into the beat. And then when the hard part comes in, it's just more powerful. So I took this guitar thing and made like another sequence. All right, let me do that clean now. And I kind of have this little intro. It's just something to just lead it off because usually, they don't you don't start a song just going in hard. It's like setting the mood. So we got this kind of little intro that I'm running. And then we go to the beat like after 4 bars. And that's pretty much what I did on the ASR. The rest of it I did in Pro Tools and on the Rhodes Chroma. So I'll show you how I did that now. So after I got the song back from Larry and Todd, and I realized it was going to be the intro to the album, I just wanted to like add more sauce to it. You know, it's kind of plain, at least the intro was to me. So I kind of just layered what those guitar chords were doing, and then I just went crazy and added a ton of other things to it. So kind of just like Rhodesy, this is like a preset actually in the Chroma. So I just played those chords. Let me start the track. And then from there, I just started, you know, building more sounds, more layers from the Chroma. I made a sound with like a crazy LFO on it, which I don't know if I'm gonna be able to duplicate. Oh shit, look at that. Kind of did it. Let's see if I can get the release to hold. All right, so something kind of like that's on there too. And, you know, past that, I actually added, you know, a bunch of lead stuff. I turned this sound into a lead. Let me see. Played a bunch of other stuff with it. It would sound like this with a big LFO, and it's kind of tucked in the back. But I'll go to the Pro Tools and show you where it's at. All right, so now I'm pulling up the Pro Tools. It's just showing you like all these different layers that are in there. We got like that wah-wah chroma thingy. Then the one's kind of like a Rhodes right here. Put a lot of, you know, a lot of reverb on there. Sometimes you just gotta bring a reverb out. And then, you know, the one chord that that's doing, got that in there too with the same sound. Even like layered the bass again with the synth. And this is kind of like a little library kind of lead thing I played, just freestyled that one. And then I threw these other strings in there too. Which is it's kind of doing the same thing as the vocals are doing. And then just bring it up, went up a couple octaves. So yeah, it's a lot going on in this beat, man. Like I think the way the mix is, like we got things a little more buried, but I think it turned out really dope. Larry June, Tangible Assets, Jake One behind the beat. Thanks for watching. I'll be back with more. Peace.